we'll go ahead and open it up.
Yep. Questions for Coach?
How big to at least start the process with Austin, and what's your feeling on game readiness?
Excited to get Austin back there. You can feel his presence in the room, just kind of getting involved in meetings. His work to get back here, he should get, be commended on how hard he worked to get back here in this timetable, and we'll let the process play out to see how fast he can get back out there.
Is this clock starting?
Yes,
This clock starting?
this clock is starting.
Is he going to be full go today, or what's your?
Yeah, I mean, he'll get good work. He'll get good work. He has a snap count that he's working in, but he'll get plenty of work.
Frank, any adjustments with Bryce? You've seen him now for a month and have more of a sense probably of what he likes and whatever else. But just can you speak to that a little bit?
Yeah, I think every week we're making minor tweaks and adjustments, based on our team, based on our players. Certainly the quarterback, Bryce, as you said, Scott. Some of those adjustments are based on what we do and what our players like, and the more we get to know them, some of the adjustments are based on what the defense is and how do you put those two things together. So that is definitely a week-to-week thing that we're doing.
Frank, I think sometimes it's hard when you're not in the building to see some of the things that are building and growing. And I'm wondering what specifically you've liked from Bryce in this first month.
There are, without question, things that are growing and building, not just with Bryce, but really, I believe, with the whole team. Coming together around the systems, that we're running, more familiarity with them, more tweaking to what we do best and what our players like, and try to put them in the best position. What I also feel is the staff coming, it's a new staff coming together. So once you get into the game planning process now into this week right here, week 5, kind of getting that rhythm of the game planning process and continuing to refine that and how we work together as a new staff. I feel a lot of strong momentum there.
How would you grade or evaluate his pre-snap decisions he's been making?
I'd grade him high. I'd grade his mental, the decisions, on check, however many checks we've had. It's not been perfect, but no quarterback ever is. But all things considered, I think his pre-snap decisions have been good.
Frank, there were a couple throws into the end zone he made that didn't quite get connected, but one to DJ and one to Ian. Did you think those should have been caught?
Yeah, I'm not going to, I'm trying to remember which, the one to.
One to Ian was in the back of the end zone.
Oh, yeah.
DJ
Okay.
was like an underrated.
Yeah, yes. No, I think they were tough catches. Yeah, I'm sorry. It took me a second to remember the ones that you were talking about, Joe. I thought the one to DJ was a tough catch, you know what I mean? And same thing with Ian. The ball got on him kind of quick. The defender was pretty physical in how he was playing it. So I thought those would have been really hard catches.
I think the Lions have the top rushing defense in the league right now. I know you guys have been trying to get that run game going. How can you do that and then also open up the field kind of for Bryce?
Yeah, I mean, the Lions have the #1 run defense and either the #1 or 2 rushing offense. So that's to their credit, right? So we go in, we're trying to do the same thing. We want to get our run game going. We want to have a more balanced attack. You don't want to beat your head up against a wall, and we want to play smart. So it's always going to be a balance. And I've had too many games in this league as a play caller where you go in against the #1 rushing defense, and then you still go in and have a good day. That you can't allow that to just push you off that. You got to use that as a challenge to the guys. Really, we're going in with wanting to have a balanced attack, and then you adapt and adjust as the game unfolds.
Miles Sanders is kind of had a tough day out percentage-wise on Sunday. How do you kind of get him going with that chunk yardage? I think that will kind of spur his rushing attack.
Listen, we love Miles as a player. We need to continue to give him some opportunities. Chuba has run well also. So we've always been kind of running back by committee. Miles has been our guy. and listen, my experience with the running backs is much like receivers. You know, there's kind of an ebb and flow to it. Sometimes a guy gets going for a game or two, and then it flips back the other way. So, you know, we brought Miles here to be a playmaker for us. You know, I believe over the course of the season that will show itself.
Frank, when you were hired, you kept using the phrase diversity of thought, talking about your staff. As you guys are kind of into a month deep of putting together game plans, talking about things, calling games, that kind of stuff, how has that evolved? Have you guys kind of gotten closer together in terms of where you are after coming from different places?
There's no doubt we've gotten closer together. You know, you're sitting here 0-4 and you're disgusted about that, and you know, it's pretty painful. But at the same time, there's a lot of energy and juice, like in our game planning meetings, and it's growing because I think we all feel it, you know, as a staff. Like, oh yeah, this is how it's coming together. You know, knowing, you know, more forming to what we want to do, to the identity that we want to be, and it's an incremental process. And now 5 weeks into it, it does, when you have that diversity of thought, the cost of that is it may take a little bit of time to develop the chemistry and the process that everyone is really in the groove. But then I believe that once you're in the groove, the benefit and the dividends that pays of having that diversity of thought will start to show.
Frank, there have been a couple reports that you guys are interested in bringing in a wide receiver one. Is that something you believe would be beneficial for Bryce?
This is the same answer for me all the time, every year I've ever been in this position. You know, like once we get in season, I just want the guys we got. You know what I mean? I'm happy with I love the guys we got. We got the guys we need to win. Scott's the you know, that's why to me it makes sense to have the division of the GM and the head coach. Scott is always going to be working to do his job to make what, you know, to initiate. He's certainly going to involve me in those decisions if something comes up. But those aren't things that I'm going to him initiating on. You know, I'm not initiating those discussions with him. He's doing what he's doing, looking to do his job. I'm coaching the guys that we got, and I'm happy about the guys we got.
Frank, how far away is Tariq Cohen from playing?
I think he's pretty close. You know, we're really excited about the progress that he's making. The roster, you know, getting him on off is always, you know, a battle. There's always a lot of considerations for who's up and who's down, but physically and mentally, I think he's very close.
And what about Dante Jackson? What's the latest on this?
He'll be limited. He will practice today. He will be limited, and we'll just evaluate that as the week goes on.
Frank, you talked about things building and growing in the direction you want to, and you also talked about being on forward and everybody acting. How do you stay patient and stay true to what you want to do and not panic and try to change?
You have to have, yeah, it's a great question. You have to have the maturity to feel the urgency and the demand to win right now, and you have to balance that with the perspective of, you know, the big picture. And sometimes it takes time, and those both can be true. You know, and I could stand up here and say the Lions were 1-6 last year. You know, I can stand up here and say, you know, this about this quarterback and his rookie year offense, and I could give a million examples of turnarounds. But that doesn't really play, right? I mean, we all want to, you know, we want to win now. Our fans want to win now, and we are doing, you know, everything we can to win now. But I also have experienced enough and been around enough and know enough to know we're on the right track. And I believe that with all my heart. Players, process, we're on the right track, and we will get there. It's just a matter. It's not if, in my mind, it's when. So we're fighting and scratching in the meantime, and look forward to this week.
You mentioned the Lions. I mean, it kind of turned on a dime for them. Even the Monday night game for the Jets, they're down 17-0, and it's all of a sudden like a light bulb came on, and, you know, and you saw them take off and their quarterback take off. What do you feel has got to happen, though, for you're close, but it's got to get you kind of over the edge to have that happen?
I do think there's defining moments. You know, often, not always, there's a defining moment. You get to, you know, we've had a couple of these games, we've gotten to the fourth quarter, we're in, and then just don't quite finish. So, you know, what it's going to take is we're going to get in that moment, and we're going to finish the right way. We're going to make the calls, we're going to make the plays that it takes to win that game. And many times that can be a catalyst to get things going, to breed some confidence, you know, back into the team. to remember what it's like, and this is what it takes. This is the mindset. This is how we finish. This is who we are. It's just all, I mean, that's usually what happens.
Frank, since you got to know these guys in the draft process and went through all that, do you keep up at all with Stroud and Richardson and the other rookie quarterbacks and how that's going?
Yes. I don't spend a lot of time on it, but every week, and I do this every year. I'm not just doing it because we drafted a quarterback. This has been, because I'm an offensive quarterback guy, and I always evaluate the quarterbacks when they're playing. I'll, towards the end of the week, once all the game planning is done, I'll pop on, all their throws from the previous game. Just buzz through it, see what they look like. What are they doing? And like I said, as a coach, hey, I know what we want. We know what we want to do, but it's not like we're closed off to. Is somebody else doing something that could help us? And maybe there's an idea. Maybe there's an idea. Maybe there's not. But we're always open to learning and getting better.
We'll take a couple more.
Frank, when these guys had some success in the run game at the end of last season, it was mostly downhill blocking scheme. Have you seen the transition to more of a zone look? Is that something that's tripped up some of these linemen, and do you think some of them might not have that skill set?
Fair question. I really do think what we're doing is it's a combination of both of those things. We do run probably a little bit more zone scheme than what they ran last year, but there's still a bunch of what we would call the duo play, what everybody calls the duo play. That's a big part of our offense. You can do that from 11 personnel, 12 personnel, 13 personnel. In fact, in our limited run game so far, if you took it off, what's been the run we've run the most, I'm guessing that's our number one run. And then, the inside zone would be the second, and then the outside zone would be 3.
Frank, back to the
Last one.
You said you are obviously a quarterback and offensive guy. Do you see, and Bryce is going through the system and going through everything you guys are implementing, is he, in your mind, playing by the book, or is he kind of freeing up a little bit and just going out and playing?
Yeah.
In your estimation,
Yeah. So what we're hoping is it's somewhere, don't want him playing by the book, don't want him just going out and doing his thing. Want him to be, there's always we always say it's two sides to the same coin. There's, playing with discipline, understanding what the progression and what's the purpose of the play. But at the same time, man, dude, you got some unique traits. Like, you can create in ways that nobody else can create. The way, the arm angles he can throw it, how quick he can get it out, his movements in the pocket, his ability to find lanes and make, the throw he made to Thielen last week on the 3rd down. Like, there's just not many guys that are playing today that can make that play. So I've been really I just think this is all normal. I mean, it's terrible that we're 0-4. It's terrible that we haven't had more success on offense, for him to feel that a little bit more. But I really believe and know that that's coming. And so, it is what it is. There will be stuff that we gain, that he gains, that we gain as an offense, that we gain as a team through going through this difficulty, the mental toughness and the grit, all those things, fighting through that will pay dividends later.
Thank you, Coach.
Thanks, everybody.
Which